what I'm saying? We here now. We here. You hear me? What's going on? Yeah, man. Love it. Into the room, the big homie Patrick Curtis, seeing what he does out here in this space, man. Love to see young people. Okay, I'm just there's a on the side. I'm going even though I like big shouts out to the homie Steve Harvey, all that. Y'all wanna ask about that? We'll talk about a lot of stuff, but don't go to where we're gonna fix this and be right back. All right.
Who is N. Wesley Pugsley Jr. and Associates CPA?
We are a full-service CPA firm with over 25 years experience in audit, tax, bookkeeping, payroll, including direct deposit, setting a 501c3 nonprofit status, preparing loan packages, and much more. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. When I started in public accounting in the early 1980s, there were no computers or fax machines. Everything was face-to-face meetings. With the advent of computers, the internet, and cloud-based software, we can communicate with any client from anywhere in the country. With our portal technology, which is similar to online banking, you just sign into our secure website, upload your tax documents, you scan to your C drive, and we prepare your return.
It appears times are changing.
I call this the year of enlightenment. Many Americans are seeing the advantages of supporting community-based businesses. We are here to serve you, not just because we're a community-based firm, but because we have the experience. We know we can serve your needs.
This is us. This is them. Choose a bank that knows what it means to be local. Bank of Bogota, taking care of you.
We're gonna try to stay in again. Let's see what's happening now. All right, I ain't gonna be able to see in these glasses. What you say there, Celine? Static. Yeah, I know. We fix it. We get all that right. But anyway, man, it is all good to be able to hang out in this space and be able to talk about real issues. That's the only reason why we came to the nighttime, because in the daytime we have to be politically correct. Y'all don't have to go about the glasses. But big shouts out to the Ever Collection from the big homie, man. Christian Michael, man, doing stuff. Jordan Bell up in the room, man. Monique Jones, how are you, man? How's everybody? Listen, I want us to really take some time to start thinking about what's happening. Last night we had a guest last night, which I enjoyed, brother Michael McGeorge, and I don't want y'all to think that we were feuding. We were just talking about real things, and I think that it's important for us to start doing that. That's the only way we're going to start seeing where we at, because it's not one person's vision, it's not one person's thing. It's everybody working together collectively to do a thing, man. So I'm gonna show you. We got everything going on right now. I can show y'all what's happening on the screen and all that good stuff like that. So we got a lot of good stuff we gonna be showing y'all, man. We're gonna be doing. So coming up, we're gonna have some great segments. So I want y'all to chime in, and I want some of y'all people that's up here in the late hour that be hanging out, man. Come and sit down and talk to me. Matter of fact, we're gonna have a way, as you see, we're gonna have a way you be able to come up on the screen and get you up in here. So we're excited about the technology, things like that. Big shout out to the Queen coming up in here, Erica Jenkins, man. What she's doing with the Daily Grind Show, man, is unprecedented, because that's what it's really about, man. What it's really about is that we want to encourage people to do their own thing. We want to encourage people to get to the next level in their own life, man. It's not about one person have to follow behind something else. Everybody has their own purpose, man. And so we really want to establish that here in the 45-degree angle. We definitely want your comments tonight. We're going to be talking about bread versus cheese. Bread versus cheese, man. I really want to talk about that because it's little things I think we overlook sometimes, and sometimes we'll just go on and pass on with the day. But like as I see those who's coming up in my room and those who should be coming into the nighttime, it's us adults. It's our time. It's for us to do it. No one's going to do it for us. Help is not coming. It is for us to do. Even though, man, I'm really excited about seeing all the great things that are kind of developing right in the aspect of stuff. Seeing that the city is now wanting to do something with these houses. Excited about that. We're very excited about that. Bless you, Natasha, for coming up in the room. Clarissa Hughes, bless you. DJ Reed, Amy Trowell, hey, how are you all? I appreciate when you all come into here because I think we're going to figure this thing out together. And sometimes it may take for us to come apart in order to come back together. That's what families do a lot of times. So I look at everyone as family and thank each one of y'all for being a part of the fabric. First, we're starting with the Star City, but we are going to having a worldwide effect. So I really appreciate all those that check in from Roanoke or those who are attached to Roanoke. That's what we do it for, man. I feel like that if the Star City, if we got somewhere that we had a little bit more control of and be ahead of the curve, gentrification, that's why we're going to talk about bread versus cheese, man. But thank you all. Please, let's take this time real quick. What we didn't do is go ahead and like this thing. We want to like. And don't do it because I'm asking you. Hopefully you like it. And now let's go ahead and go out here and share. But I want your opinions, man, real quick about as we talk about that topic. I know it might sound that I'm being, basic, but really there is a depth to it. Bread versus cheese. What's your opinion? I seen Buffy in the room. Tell me what you think. Bread versus cheese. Well, here's what my thing is. You always hear people talk about different analogies of money and wealth and things like that. And so I'm about to go get this bread, man. I'm about to make, go get this bread. I gotta get that cheese, yo. And I'm starting to learn as I'm getting older, man, just how important words are, man. Words are very important, and belief is even more strong, in the sense that what you believe in is what's going to happen. That's always going to be the case. What you believe in is what's ultimately going to happen in your life. And it's okay to challenge me on that because think about it. When you're going through struggles, how many times have we now adhered or given in to fear or doubt that these type of situations will happen versus just kind of already knowing that everything happens for a reason. Everything needs to happen in this place in order for us to be the person we're supposed to be. Y'all not gonna talk to me? Ain't that what they say in the church? Chris Ham, how you doing up in the room? But bread versus cheese. I really want to take a little moment with that. Like I said, we talk in this midnight time frame for this fact. I don't want you to feel obligated to be here, but I think it is important. When I think about the talk shows and stuff that's out there on the major networks, which I appreciate that conversation with Brother Mike last night, because that is something that I really did a lot of in-depth study on when I used to work in that space, man, to the networks, and just seeing how things was changing. Things was really going to a digital space. Hence why I'm very excited and do not mind letting y'all know that really the premise of this show is that ultimately, the big homie, not myself, but Tommy Page is trying to get the big homie Hove to come by Roanoke, man. I think that I'm excited about what he's done in his blueprint. Not only from the music that he's left, because in the music he said exactly what we need to hear when we need to hear. He has been kind of a preacher. And I think that was very funny. That I recall when the Watch the Throne album was coming out, and I remember churches like really putting like real energy into stopping that from happening. So, and saying how you can't serve God and listen to this stuff. However, common, when you look at the scope, most of us love to entertain. And let me tell you why I can say that most of us love to entertain. You have people who have all their skills and things like that, and at any time will entertain someone. And then because it seems so effortlessly now, because you see out there in the space that people are making it, and they're making a lot of money, and you see them on TV, and you see them in the glitz and glamour, and you're like, man, I can do that too. You can do that too. You can. That is 100% true. However, there's levels to this thing, man. And the one thing I think that we have as a society has started really giving into is that quick stuff, man. That quick stuff that kind of takes us into that cheese space, man. And I know the process of cheese versus the process of bread may be different, but I just started thinking about it, man. I started thinking about bread being more of a longevity thing, something that rises, the yeast and thing of it. And then I started thinking about just the cheese, how it's something that has to be actually molded. There has to be some contaminants that goes in order for you to like the taste of what it is. And a lot of people who go on vegan and stuff pulling up there, who knows that stuff. But not to go too in deep with that, but to think about the places where they go at. When I think about the blessings that came from God, and always when there was a time for a necessity for the people to have faith when there was despair, I know that bread was always somehow incorporated to the whole thing of confirming faith. Bread, the bread of life, and when they were out in the wilderness and they kept on saying, did you bring us out to die? And manna came from heaven, being bread. If you go with that story, there's other stories, but just think about bread. And I think about the feeding of the 5,000. A lot of my reference will be from Christianity, because that is where I got a lot of my teaching from. However, as one who had to learn different religions in order to get my religious study degree, you know something you got respect for a lot of others. But talking just about the Christian story alone, and thinking about the feeding of 5,000, that bread was used, man. Bread being something that's that you can get for sustenance. You can get something that can hold you over. Cheese and wine is good. Isn't it strange? The just different things that cheese kind of is associated with. Cheese and wine. Tired of whining. Who want to keep whining about stuff that isn't happening? Even though whining is cool, drinking wine is cool with people and stuff like that. But cheese and wine, just think about the implication there. And then think about the cheese being in the trap, which has been one of the main things that our community has suffered from. The cheese being in the trap, knowing that on the other side of the trap, we try to get to the cheese. And I think that that's the segue of where I want to spend a lot of time with what we're doing here with NuFocus, because yes, we have a lot of skilled professionals, but we also have a lot of people who can now assist in the whole culture shifting. To think about and here's another shout out. When I say it, like I said, when I say things, yeah, Buffer, we're gonna hit that. I like that. Put them together. Most definitely put them together. I like that. Put them together. Get them both going on. Be longevity and liquid. I like that. In most things, it takes more than one ingredient. You talking now? Woo wee. Ain't that what the boy Farmer did? But in a sense of thinking about how us coming together as a whole and just changing our mindset. Knowing I see friends of mine who was coming home, man, I'm so happy to see some of the homies that I remember growing up with, that I remember before the time came of the crack era, because, oh, by the way, yes, the crack era was real and it was needed for, I think, for us to get where we're at, because every era has had its so-called bad boys that kind of figured it out, and now kind of mingle their way into being good guys in society, or at least someone in their family and lineage. And so we're thinking about bread and things in that space, but I want to talk about getting the family together, man. And I know one of the things that has been an issue with that has been how easy it is for us to feud, how easy it is for us to separate and not be able to get back on purpose, man. So we're going to take our time with this one tonight. I really want to hear your opinions on how do we now combine this thing together. Everybody keeps saying theoretically what we can do. Now I want to make sure that it's no, and it's not no type of thing for me to stand on no platform. This is evidence of what we can do. Each night you guys have been coming up in here, so we show the world that it's possible that a message can get out by us supporting, even if it's just the however many people is in the room right now. You know, if we start there and build for them, those are building blocks, versus being deterred by saying this is not happening and go another route. That's the thing that we're working on together by now, looking at how we can go after the bread. But also, I like how Buffett's put in there, take those who may have got caught up going after the cheese and make a great sandwich, man. We're going to stay with that a little bit, man. It's the 45-degree angle right here on Focus Radio. Keep it locked.
I know firsthand the effects of sickle cell anemia.
I didn't start knowing about sickle cell anemia until I started growing up and had friends that had it. And
this disease that affects over 100,000 people in America alone.
My brother passed away from it. My oldest brother, at the age of 16 years old.
You don't really know when it's gonna hit. Because
it's not just for me, it's for everybody with sickle cell. Your loved ones, my loved ones, people we don't even know. They suffer from this disease, man, and we can do something to save their life. We can make it better.
The sweet spot yoni steams. What is yoni steaming, you ask? Wonderful question. Yoni steaming provides detoxification and natural healing for women's reproductive organs. They can be used to heal endometriosis, cysts, fibroids, yeast infections, irregular and painful menstrual cycles, and much more. Yoni steams can also be helpful for vaginal rejuvenation, and many women use them as a form of meditation. Get your yoni steamed at the sweet spot now on Facebook.
Go anywhere you want to go. Leave your transportation needs to J&K Tours of Roanoke, Virginia, and expect a hassle-free travel experience. Go anywhere you want to go. Travel without worries. Leave your transportation needs to J&K Tours of Roanoke, Virginia, and expect a hassle-free travel experience. Travels without worries. Visit us at jnktours.com or reach us by phone at 540-795-0381. J&K Tours.
Yeah, man, we are back. Scoring now, man. Could you imagine if Bob Johnson could have became a billionaire before he sold his network to BET, to Viacom? You might have went up there. 45-degree angle, man, as I talked about and kind of went over last night, just so you know what's going on. 45-degree angle, a couple weeks ago, I turned 45, man, and it made me realize that I'm not little Tommy no more. Yeah, I've got grandbabies and have, realized that we've been doing some grown man and grown woman stuff over here. It's not easy to go out and venture out into business and that be your only anchor. And that is one of the things that I really want to encourage people to really hear me when I say, I know. When people come to us and try to say how hard and how difficult it is to go and stay in business, I know. Oh man, but we are excited to be able to continue to do it. As I see the Murrays come up in the room, I love what they're doing with Master Sergeant Barbecue. So many great things. Imagine possibilities. Thank y'all for staying through the commercials, because that's the main reason why we do this. We really want to talk about stuff, but like me and Mike was having a conversation last night, could you imagine if we was supporting in here and seeing the things we need to know about our community and things, how we could build it one at a time? Numbers do add up to now start seeing this thing rise. That's the whole NuFocus, and I'm not trying to take this as a time to really go into just say what our thing is, but more so to say how everyone together collectively, how it really is starting to look good. I want to get back onto that whole reason why we do this thing, man, and the reason why I say something about Hove, because I really think that we have not taken full advantage of what this music thing that that was given to our community, how much of a resource that is. And the beauty of it is it keeps going. We don't have many things that we have other than the stuff that we utilize to rise in going after the cheese, after the trap. That's the one thing we get, keep going with that, everybody. I got to keep getting that. That's why it's easy to sell. It's a high demand for that stuff. People, go to stuff like that. So being able to find a space and be able to get your own audience and get there, man, so you can work towards the longevity, because you cannot pass down a job to your family. You cannot that's not the bread. And I'm not going against it nor say to talk against. I appreciate all those who have keeping a 9-to-5, keeping a job, because when you guys support us right now, that's what's helping this thing going. I'm just saying those who now have started looking into going to the next level, but thinking you're going to ever be able to stay in this thing longevity by having on both sides, I don't see any information or data out there that supports that. When I think about Hove and them, I came into the state independent. And it's with a mindset of what you were going to do. And so we have, I think, sometimes got caught up talking about the controversial things of what goes on in Hollywood and stuff like that, versus taking real information and data from that blueprint and applying it to what we ourselves could be doing. All right. Hey, been supporting since the first day we met, and we'll continue to support. I am glad that you all are back. Thank you. Exactly. Well, I don't want this to be so much about us. I don't want it to say it's about us in the support. I'm talking about more so into the concept or the idea against the big machine. And so let me be clear with that. I don't want to think everybody, hey man, we begging y'all to support us. No, that's not it. We're excited, but we're grateful for the audience that we do have, and we're working hard to make sure that we do what's necessary to build a bigger audience. But I'm just talking about just the idea of coming out of feeling like we have to go to the machine without seeing that the machine has been set up so that we would continue to do so. We won't make our own bread. We won't get to a place where we'll get out there, because making bread is a tedious process. Going from the thing of growing it, and I think we have not really got to a place where we understand the importance of growing our own ingredients. And I think that's what hip hop did, as well as every other genre of music that kind of set our community. And when I say our community, I'm speaking more of the minority community. the minority community, the ones that's outside the popular norms, specifically the black minority community. But of course, I've got a love for my Latin community as well as all my Asian communities, everyone. But really, those ones who I really interact with and can see the plight of what we've been through, and look how close we've been on each side. The music game has always been an area where we make a lot of space. Now that opens up doors, and people say that's so cliche. Let's start getting more, which I'm glad he's in here. Attorney Darren Haley, get more attorneys and more doctors. Yes, we have to do that. That's got to be part of the plan. However, if there is the system against the machine, against the people, the machine against the people, do you think the machine is ever going to allow for the overtaking just gradually? No, there's always going to be some type of maneuvers that prevent. So any mass gatherings, that's why I love this whole social media stuff. I am not here causing no problems. Let me make sure I do not have a martyrdom complex like Dr. Martin Luther King said. Like I put in the post over there, if something happened to me around this time, the Dr. Martin, I feel like I seen about it, and I feel like this is what we have differently than even what they had. They did not have access to media that was not controlled to make sure the message that wanted to be conveyed to the popular public was there. So now we are able to talk about this thing, come together. Let me see what you're saying. So they say, I listen to hear and learn from myself in my process moving forward for my enterprise. Awesome. See, the big homie Anthony Ford came in here. We all should be pushing towards our kingdoms. Our kingdoms are our foundations, our buildings, our things that we're passing on to our next generation. That's where we've got to start, I think, finding a way to connect that gap. And hence why today I wanted to try to bring that together. Well, first, the bread versus the cheese. Most of the thing of, we don't have direct ideas in the family concept of who's going to go here. No one's quarterback in the family and calling the play and say, okay, you will be here for this because this is going to allow for us to be able to do this and move like this. It's more so we have said, well, go out there and be, because at the time the country needed that. At the time when our families and even the area that we operate out of, Gainesboro, when it was building, you needed that then. It was being reconstructed. But now there's a whole new space. There's all kind of opportunity, and most of the chains and sanctions have been pulled off. We can do it ourselves, man, and that's the whole reason for the 45-degree angle. So keep it locked. We'll take a quick break. Be right back.
It's all in me. Yeah, I can be every woman with Brie and B, fashions and accessories.
This is us. This is them. Choose a bank that knows what it means to be local. Bank of Bogota, taking care of you.
Hey, we are Pretty Please on Broad, a classy and sassy ladies' boutique located in the heart of downtown Alta Vista, Virginia, and the worldwide interwebs. We focus on limited runs, unique fashion at affordable prices. Because as I like to say, no woman wants to show up to her event and do the who wore it better. We have recently added monogramming and embroidery services, and we can rock your fashion and help you personalize that, either for your own personal items or for your small business. We We focus on big city fashions. So we look at fashion from LA, from New Orleans, as we are a New Orleans inspired boutique. And we really try to focus on bringing in big city fashion without the big city price tag. So give us a call or shop us online at prettypleaseonbroad.com. Our number is 704-281-8748. And make sure to like us on Facebook and Instagram. See you at Pretty Please on Broad, located at 615 Broad Street, downtown Alta Vista, Virginia.
So this is why it's easy when I have my engineer, because me trying to do all this stuff. Sorry guys, I said a whole thing. So I'm going back and back. Thank y'all for coming back, staying with me. We're gonna have a night engineer, but just sometimes people be chilling. But this is for the nighttime, man. A lot of times when you can't get to sleep and you think about stuff, you just fumbling around with some other stuff, and some people putting in your mind what you don't want to hear. Let's talk about it. So that's the last thing be on our mind. So then when we wake up, the first thing be on our mind is that daily grind of getting it done, not making no more excuses, just charging it, man, making it happen. That's why I'm so grateful for the Queen doing her thing, making sure to keep it going. Mike Lee says, food for thought. If you want something you've never had, then you've got to do something you've never done. Bam. And I think one of the things that we haven't done is find a way to make sure the family, as I was saying earlier, not quarterbacking. We haven't been quarterbacking the family. We haven't made it that there was, some order to the direction of where the family was going, instead of just leaving it to chance and let everybody just figure out what it was going to do and forget about the traditions and how strong you can now be by building upon that. I think it's very interesting that we go to Walmart without any, we go to Kroger. We go these places without realizing these are families. These are families concepts that came together and people made their space. They got into the space where they needed to do to keep it going for longevity, which I think that I used to watch the show Family Feud when I was young. And Richard Dawson was an interesting guy. He was very comical. I didn't know all the shows and stuff he had played on. But he was comical. But now to see the day that we are to have a family show like that, to be hosted by a black man who is being now hosting Miss America patch and things like that, and still think about the subtleties that come with that, the family feud, how they're putting families against each other and testing it in competition. And that's what life is, man. Life has always been that way. It's just a natural form. When we think about kingdoms, empires, it was on the namesake. Most of the areas that you named, when you think about the peoples and things and the origins, there had to be a name given to it, and the name was that of the family. So that's why I'm grateful to see a brother like Jordan Bell up in here, who was giving a name to this area back here. Gainsborough Revisited makes us now stop saying what could be. We don't have to go figure this stuff out again, y'all. It's already here. It's already been done. Just now uncover and untap that and get back into that. That land grant stuff, I'm glad everybody's excited about it and seeing it. However, that has been spoke upon from these platforms, and that is the real drive behind the T-Boy that we're doing. And I know you're going to be like, man, you try to always say you saying it. Nah, I'm not saying it at all. I'm just saying you guys, especially those who've been around me and been around this whole concept, should know these are the things that's happening from us being able to meet into a space like this and see beforehand without having to be so reactionary. If we start being ahead there, and I think that comes by the family knowing who's doing what. If I know I'm supposed to be watching out for this type of attack from a bigger scope, then now I'll have someone checking off and making sure that we have a system, because the only way you're going to beat a system is by having a better system. So the only way you're going to beat a system, you're never going to beat a system with chaos, unless that is your system. And I'm sorry, I don't want chaos. I kind of like order. I kind of like order. Now, it is a little modified. The order I have is obviously a little modified, because I'm a guy who bounces around and have meetings with the city manager and frequently see the vice mayor in his office down here in the building with us with dreads. And what I was told when I came down here is that this city was not ready for this type of person running around here. And guess what? The person told me, because they're a wise person. They might be right. So I could be out here right now looking like a buffoon. Or I could be one of the smartest kids that's been seen here in a while, and now open the floodgates and say, hey guys, what about us? What about us coming together? And now it's going to be okay to feud, because, I mean, it's for a prize. But it's also important to make sure we come together and build community. We're down here in the Gainesboro area, man, raising money here for Take Back Our Yard Foundation. Yes, we love to have fun. We love to have the party, so we're going to have great stuff going with that. But the whole concept of this thing is to now say, before anybody gives us anything, even though that whole land bank thing, that was the concept, we was saying we wanted to be able to occupy all these buildings down here and let them be the actual what's backed upon the value of this land down here will be the value to start a bank that now will concentrate on being able to give opportunities to minority. And I didn't figure this out myself. If anyone comes out here, and if we really took the time to know what the Southwest Virginia Development Fund, which I love how Stan Hale, and don't tell nobody, y'all gotta see my subliminals too. I've been watching how Hove do. If anybody knows Stan ain't gonna come on TV. Stan ain't gonna do no stuff like that. But if you notice the Daily Grind show, it has now been right in front of the pictures and stuff to show. Because I've played quarterback, yo. So that's why they're at 45 degree. I'm not going to keep on making justification of being who I am. I'm not going to keep on trying to say, hey, I hope I don't offend you and things like that. I'm not going to. And I wish you would not worry about taking that same amount of time back to me. Because at this time, with what we're up against, to go years and years without having this thing better together, we got to do it right now. We have to do it right now. We owe it to our ancestors, and that's the whole reason why we are here doing it. So, Family Feud, man, talk to me about it, man. Right now, what would you say is your relationship with your family, with those who you say are your family? Now, don't get it twisted. There are two families, man. There's a family that's just automatically, truthfully given to you by the bloodline. That is truly given. It's like you are connected through the same makeup, through the same blood. That is one you can't deny. It's there. It's going to be there. But then you have a relative family. And a relative family, as I was telling you before about angles and why I want to make sure this show concentrate on angles. You use combat angles in order to go into war. And when you use combat angles, you use what's called relative bearings versus true bearings. True bearings, if you look on the azimuth, is 360 degrees around the whole scope. 360 degrees. So 90 degrees will be here, 180, 270, 000, straight up there. 45 degrees is half of that 90 degree. And so that's true, normally based upon true north. However, when you're in combat, when you're going after to accomplish a goal, or when you're at war, let me just be honest, that's war. When you're at war, you got to have target angles. And you use relative angles, which means you place your azimuth on your nose as to where the ship that you're going after or the target that you're positioning yourself on is in relation to that. So you have relative bearings. So you have a family that's out here with you for your purpose. Because, again, the bread is your purpose, all right? I didn't say that, but let me just go say the bread is your purpose. Don't keep making the bread just be money. You can't be happy with just money. Money will never make you just happy. Will never make you happy, not just money. It won't. Now, it will make things easier to have. It would take it. Sometimes it'll take those stresses of having money off of you. But look at the whole duality of that. But then when you get money, guess what happens? All those who don't have money, guess what they're doing all the time? Asking you and trying to make you feel guilty for not just giving it back. So now that's a part of our family feuding. How do we bring that back? And I think we do it by music, man. I think that music is the way that we've always done it. And I just want us to get to a place that now we are utilizing the music more. So we're going to talk more about the T-Boy effort and why we're using music for that effort to community build. But hey, man, we've already identified 10 businesses. We've got 10 businesses already operating down here that we've identified to go after the $1 million. And I told you how that breaks down. You just got to do the numbers. $1 million operating out of the Lawson building simply means 10 businesses making $100,000. So we want to put $1 million worth of business down here this summer by bringing quality entertainment, bringing in all of our retail district that normally doesn't have mall space and stuff, and carry it like the places like of Miami, of Lincoln Town, of an outside mall and all that stuff. So that's what we're putting together, man. We need your help. We're going to talk about it a little bit more when we come back. But keep it locked right here with your boy, Tommy P, on 45 Degree Angle, all right?
Healthy food for healthier communities. In partnership with Focus Radio and Apple Ridge Farm, the Well Market is a youth-run farm stand providing healthy, local, organic produce to people living in the Northwest Gainesboro neighborhood. Fruits and vegetables such as greens, potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and squash are harvested from the George Washington Carver Community Garden in Northwest Roanoke and local farms in Floyd County including Patchwork, Green Island, and Apple Ridge Farm. Money raised from produce sales goes directly back into the program and continues to fund youth involvement and entrepreneurial skill development. Please visit the Well Market every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. and help support healthy food for healthier communities. The Well, working, eating, living, and learning together.
Who is N. Wesley Pugsley Jr. and Associates CPA?
We are a full-service CPA firm with over 25 years experience in audit, tax, bookkeeping, payroll, including direct deposit, setting a 501c3 nonprofit status, preparing loan packages, and much more. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. When I started in public accounting in the early 1980s, there were no computers or fax machines. Everything was face-to-face meetings. With the advent of computers, the internet, and cloud-based software, we can communicate with any client from anywhere in the country. With our portal technology, which is similar to online banking, you just sign into our secure website, upload your tax documents, you scan to your C drive, and we prepare your return.
It appears times are changing.
I call this the year of enlightenment. Many Americans are seeing the advantages of supporting community-based businesses. We are here to serve you, not just because we're a community-based firm, but because we have the experience. We know we can serve your needs.
Yeah, we're back, man. It's going down, man. 45 Degree Angle, your boy Time P. Say the big homie, man. LeBaron is up in here, man. The guy who actually runs this thing, man. Topic of the day, man, is family feuding, man. How important it is for us to come together. Even if we go, from if been spread out from one's been concentrating on making the bread, and other one has said, well, no, I need the cheese right now, and so therefore we can't come together. Now the time is the present. When we're talking, when we hear, or when you actually get to this podcast, is that moment, and you can't waste the present, that gift that you're getting, because the present is the only thing you really have. Like the past is the future can only be attained by what you do with the present. So take value in that. So presently, I thank y'all for being here with me, so we can be doing this, because I have just noticed, like I said earlier, so many of our friends that's coming back home that I remember used to kind of motivate our parties, and I know that there's so much money in merch, our clothing, how we've now taken upon ourselves, because the family is feuding. We won't come together and just see how easy we can start making a shift in the economic change. Let me get right to it. It's Taking That Tuesday. We got about 20 more minutes left in this thing, because yes, this is a night show. This is for those who are up here, who in the evening time, who want to talk about this thing. And oh, by the way, we're gonna ask about different things, man, some fun things. But I also want to be serious, man, because we are seriously up against some things. And of course, anybody can just tune it out. Anyone can tune it out and just say, man, we don't need to talk about that. But those who want to say, hey, these guys might have something that they might want to be able to say, because for those who said it couldn't be done of business operating down here in this area without assistance and help from the government, we've been able to show, hey man, by putting our boots to the ground and get out here and do some stuff, that hey, we can do it ourselves. I love what T.I. said, man, on his album. His album killed it this year, and that's why I know that this music has a big part of what we do in order to now start getting the bull by the horns ourselves, man. Taking that thing. How is it that we have an arena such as the Civic Center and have not really had concerts in there in years? And everybody keep talking about it instead of doing it. Okay, so we're going to do something about it. So now right around the corner from the Civic Center, since we can't be able to over there, we're going to bring our own talent down here together. Can you say that we're going to bring it together? We're going to bring it together. Everybody come out, which we're going to do what Brother Michael said last night we can't do. You go ahead and invite 10 people to come on down there. And let's say, hey, if we saw how St. Patrick's Day was supported down there, let's make sure we're present for something that now celebrates us. However, let me be totally honest. I am even asking all my friends, my white friends who knows how to come out and support, hey, we need some support, because of the mere fact that that's the only way we're going to really be able to get this thing right either. We want you, I know I do, I want you to come out and enjoy that day. I don't want it to be like, what are y'all doing down here? I wanted to be like, man, I'm glad all y'all came out. All y'all that was willing to spend down there, now finally be willing to spend over here with us. Because I think that once the family starts feuding and we start looking at how to get our own bread and cheese, that now that's how we all become Americans. Now how we replace it, how we fix it, is take your drug money. I'm not going to say all the Holmes lyrics. I'll just say it's going to be very important to start listening to it. But specifically the family feuding. I thought it was very important how they handled the scandal. Even if it was all set up to sell records, I'm glad they put that together so that we could be able to watch it through. Because it's been so easy for the quick fix of a powerful family or so, a powerful couple like that, to go through something like that, which you have your own opinion to say what degree of you know, what degree infidelity has on the relationship, what degree of strong, how that we're not going to take that and go there, because we spend the last 15 minutes we got here on that. But the mere fact of the overall picture of how does the family now knowing that infidelity and things and disagreements and money issues and stuff has always been something that broke families apart, how do we now have the foresight and come together that we come together for the play versus just out here saying figure out life, and then when it comes down to a situation, who's it on to figure it out? Strong families, man. How do we bring them back? How do we get there? We do that by listen to Hove and Beyonce. That's why I was saying it, because look, I don't know anybody else, man. Now they went and got the Grammy together. Shouts out to them. Congratulations for that. And they just look good. They look good together, whether you like it or not. And they make great music. And look here, man. For a lot of our economic issues, hear me if you haven't heard me say anything else in this whole message. Every city that has a problem, every area and thing that is being troubled has a solution by a blueprint. Yes, not everybody can be Hove and Beyonce. But what if we put more engines together to take and say, here's a family that both excelled in their profession, because music game is a profession that makes a lot of money, $1 billion industry, a multi-billion-dollar industry, and got to the top of it, and now themselves was able to go out and do $100 million tour. Any city, if $100 million come down here into Gainesboro, which that's what we ultimately going for, you got to start with $1 million first, then you can get to the $100 million. But if each area did that, I think we can be on the forefront of gentrification versus being on the other side. Hey, man, we got a little bit left to do this thing. I used to watch this show. Not watch it because they didn't have it. This is a different technology. This is still coming to radio. Radio always kind of raised me. I used to listen to this guy called Paul Harvey, and he used to say, and that's the rest of the story. When we come back, man, we're going to wrap this thing on up of taking this bread versus cheese, man. How we going to meet Hove by showing that Roanoke, the family, we can stop feuding. We're going to come together, and we're going to get this thing right. All right? Let's keep it locked.
The Bradley Free Clinic provides free, compassionate, and high-quality medical, dental, pharmaceutical, and preventative health care services for Roanoke Valley residents who lack the resources necessary to maintain their health and productivity using volunteer healthcare professionals. Check them out on their website at bradleyfreeclinic.com.
Healthy food for healthier communities. In partnership with Focus Radio and Apple Ridge Farm, the Well Market is a youth-run farm stand providing healthy, local, organic produce to people living in the Northwest Gainesboro neighborhood. Fruits and vegetables such as greens, potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and squash are harvested from the George Washington Carver Community Garden in Northwest Roanoke and local farms in Floyd County, including Patchwork, Green Island, and Apple Ridge Farm. Money raised from produce sales goes directly back into the program and continues to fund youth involvement and entrepreneurial skill development. Please visit the Well Market every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. and help support healthy food for healthier communities. The Well, working, eating, living, and learning together.
It's all in me. Yeah, I can be every woman with Brie and B, fashions and accessories.
Yeah, man, we're back. Thank y'all for holding on and hanging into. Yeah, man, y'all told y'all I wear costumes. I be changing up, but we're driving this thing on home, man. The importance of this show is to now say what I appreciate Coach G's jumping in. And brother, like I said, let me tell you, man, you're a hero to me, man. I still think about it. I'm glad you guys are both doing well. There's been a lot of life type stuff going. This brother gave a kidney, man. Living guy gave a kidney to another brother, and that's just beautiful to see what science can do and how we can help out each other. And I'm really praying with my friend who was a singer who I know probably one of the most angelic voices I've heard around here in that space, to know that she received a heart transplant, yo. And knowing just how science has done it, I'm thinking about, Dr. Hale, who the first open heart surgeon. I think about why we learned that stuff in school of Black history and stuff, so that we never forget, we never don't not adhere. So, how in the world can we not go ahead and move forward with what's before us? And that's the play, Coach E. So I'm asking for the team to huddle up right now, man. We have a play on the field. Our desire has been to not just be seen by doing this show. We've really been here to say the possibility. And we know that the possibility is more than just talking about it. The big boys and everybody else have shown their hand that the things that we desire to do, it makes sense. So we as a unit can collectively come together and start doing it ourselves. All we have to do is mirror those things that are out there. I'm asking you to take this show that we do, as well as the one in the morning. Yes, there's some things we can fix with it. However, we believe your investment into it by watching and feedback positive, as well as you can do negative feedback. There's different ways. I mean, if there's something going on with the show, appreciate it that you don't put it in the feed, because that now gives people are moved by persuasion. We know that. That's why we can identify that TV, as it has been persuading us to be okay with, even though capitalism I don't think is a bad thing, because one thing, some of these things we be arguing about, it's a part of capitalism and the ability for you to be able to be free to get what you want. So I don't think that's a complete bad thing, but just some of the ways that those are winning in that, maybe some things that may be adjusted. And I think a lot of it can happen by us now coming together as we keep talking about it, and stop talking about it but doing it. I feel lonely sometimes down here. Not that I'm crying, and happy born day to my homie. I'm glad you came in here as I'm talking about team. Brother, I said it to you when I came down there and seen you. Life takes a person through different things, man, and some of us, man, I don't think he minds that everybody knows. He knows that he's overcome some adversity in life. Doug has always been a very smart brother, always been a good brother of mine. And to see what he's doing now in this space is amazing. He has the plan that I need to be able to show the Claders that we have the ability and capacity now, because to keep talking about what could be there and having to reach out to somebody else to do it, no, we've shown that the first thing, one of the issues that we put into in front of the Clader building, to say that we had an idea on it, was doing blood drives and stuff here. My sons and stuff still now go through, even though sickle cell is getting to a better place, they still have to have transfusions, and that's one thing we don't do. Hence why we used to go all around the country, try to do it. Now if I could just take care of my city, the things that I've been able to do all around the country, if now we could just take care of our city and start reaching out to our brothers and sisters who may not be here, who cannot be reached by the local means that's there. if we can now get to a place where we're getting our brothers and sisters, our family, to dump back in, all I'm asking is 5,000 people. All I'm asking is 5,000 people. We got 90 days before we kick this thing off. If 5,000 people would just come out. Now, I'm not even going to tell you what 5,000 people giving $50 would do. 5,000 people giving $50, I'm not going to tell you what that would do. Even though that is $250,000, dude, it's easy. But to do that and say, like, oh, man, you just try to get the money. No, I'm trying to say we ourselves can put into the very project that now, because we are doing, has now maybe been very, very favorable to other entities. If we now allow ourselves to stay on target, we can prove that we can be on the front end versus have to wait to be getting on the other side. But I need your help, man. I need your help by now taking these podcasts, these things that we do from NFE TV serious. It's not a game, man. We put a lot of money. We invest into our business. So when we say advertise with us, that's not to say you're paying our bills. My bills are paid. My bills are going to be paid for the remainder of my life because I served in the military and now they take care of me. So everything that I make always goes back to the business. I don't even take a salary, and that's some personal stuff that you didn't have to know. But hey, it's 45 degree angle. You can get ish on here that, and I'm sorry for those who might have been offended last night by Michael and George. We all on the night line, on the nighttime, and so it's gonna be a little more loose. But Mike can't drop the N-word and F bombs on here. Mike trying to kill my sponsors, y'all. What are you doing? Oh man, but I love that we're talking about this, and something may be that we're not getting back and forth on the dialogue, but I want to tell you what, by us being able to do this at night, we're also going to be able to do this platform where, like I said, I can show you, I'm going to have you call in and be able to talk. And so you don't have to come down here, but we can make sure that everybody's opinion is being heard and all the good things. We got a lot of great stuff that we're doing that we're going to get it done together. 5,000 people, man. 5,000 people coming down here to have fun. And we got a lineup of fun this summer, man. We bringing some Roanoke's DJs that really hasn't done much here, but has done stuff all over the world. They're coming down here. Plus, we have some entertainment that has never come here before. So June 1st, July 6th, August 3rd, that's right, the first ones who had together. We did this last year, so this ain't new to us. We've been doing stuff down here. We supported all the other stuff that's been going on down here since its inception. So don't get it twisted that it's ever been the other way around. So let's make sure that's understood. A lot of times we've pushed our mission back to support others just so it doesn't seem like we're just saying, hey, look at us. We're support now. All we look at this as Lauren Hill says, some reciprocity. So show your love by now, man. The website, I'll be honest, there's still some things going on making this fit, but you do have the ability to go on to our Facebook page, take back our yard Facebook page, and click on the donate button there to start getting this thing going, man. 5,000 people can make a difference, man. So you're going to learn more about it. I got to get ready to get up out of here. Bishop, bless you for jumping in here. We're going to definitely get you on to talk, man, as one who now has definitely overcome adversity, but definitely still giving hope in the city, and definitely an anchor over in that corner of Melrose. We thank you for what you do out here, sir, and thank you for jumping up in the room. But everybody who comes up in here, man, take these food for thoughts that we can do it, man. We don't need anyone else. Even if the numbers are skewed, even if it's going to take us to now not feel like we're isolated by saying, ooh, this is just a black thing. No. I love my white friends. I want y'all to now stop hiding when I'm over here like I'm back over my house. I brought some of y'all over the house before. Y'all used to come over there on Ferncliff before. Stop acting like that. And a lot of it, like I got to send a shout out to my friend Jennifer Waybright. I saw her out there celebrating for the celebration this week. And I saw that I was having lunch in the market, and I told her, she even posted. She was like, I mean, because that's what we were talking about. I was like, I invited them to come to T-Boy. And she was like, and the friend was like, well, I don't know what's up. I was like, don't worry about it. Jennifer's cool. She's not worried about it. She went to Fleming, so she know how to be around black people. She all right. Thank everybody, man, for what y'all do, for tuning in. Let's work with the Staying Together family. Let's stop feuding and start listening to more Jay-Z records, man. He's been saying a couple things, man, that we can actually take that. Shout out to 808 Ray for making that bridge there by being in the right place at the right time. That brother has now got on a Grammy project right here from the Star City, so I know we can do it, man, as long as we keep on pushing this thing, this field this ball down the field, man. I gotta go, but I always love to leave you by saying that they decided it's not a dream, it's your purpose. Set your sights on your targets, hit them, because the only one that can stop you is you. Once you truly start to believe in that thing and walk in your act of faith, God will allow it to manifest, and I promise you it's not something I heard. It's something we're living every day and so grateful for it. Better broadcast live from the great city of Roanoke, Virginia, out to the world. It's the Daily Grind Show right here, man. 45-degree angle, your boy Tommy P. I'll catch you tomorrow, but make sure you wake up tomorrow morning, 10:15, to the Daily Grind Show. Ladies first, Erica Kane. She got you, all right? Peace. Have a good night.